the International AIDS Society Conference in Vancouver, and here's Christian Hui. Christian, how are you?
Hi.
Tell me about what are you doing here? Tell me about the conference.
Well, thanks for interviewing me, Bob, and all the great people at Positive Light. My name is Christian Hui. I am a person living with HIV, locally based in Toronto right now, and I'm really excited to be at the traditional territories of the Coastal Salish people in Vancouver, attending the International AIDS Society Conference 2015 on HIV pathogenesis, treatment, and prevention.
How many people are here, Christian?
Well, I don't know. I would say a few thousand.
A few thousand. I
Yes.
think it's about 6,000 or 8,000. And so have you met many new people? Is that one of the values of what you're doing here?
Yes, definitely. Well, I can't say I have met 6,000 or 8,000 people, but I have actually met some really wonderful people, especially persons living with HIV here. As you know, this is more of a scientific conference. A lot of researchers, scientists are here to address HIV cure issues, treatment issues, and more of a scientific research issues.
And there's been a lot happening in the research field lately. So I guess this is a fairly important conference to look at that research and decide where we're going with it.
Well, a lot of exciting news that have been coming out from the conference, such as, more of the findings from the START study, how, starting treatment can really improve the health and well-being of persons living with HIV if they start treatment earlier than later. In terms of the World Health Organization, they released newer HIV testing guidelines, especially the guidelines regarding to using lay people to expand treatment. Expand testing. So there's a lot of big kind of news coming out from this conference. As a community person, I have been blessed to meet many fellow brothers and sisters living with HIV, and really to talk about some of the issues that are really important for us.
Yeah. Tell me, you're a person living with HIV yourself. What's it like to be in this conference? Is it hard on attendees? Like, there's quite a lot to be done here and running around, and you've been particularly busy. What's it like?
Well, I think it's been a little hectic trying to get everything done as a community activist. I've been really trying to build that relationship with other delegates I've met, and addressing some of the community concerns and issues as well. One of the key things that came out from the conference is the Vancouver Consensus, which is an urge for scientists, researchers, policymakers, and all the key stakeholders to really utilize the sciences to address HIV. So what does that mean? That means, expanding treatment to persons living with HIV at diagnosis. So they're recommending that we expand treatment to persons living with HIV at any CD4 counts. So that's great because it improves treatment access. And also, to expand the use of PrEP as a great, prevention strategy. However, I think there are some issues around, that concerns community members as well. In terms of, if you're talking about testing, is it done without coercion? If you are talking about starting treatment, is the treatment decision based on the person, or is it kind of pressured upon?
Okay. And you're also wearing, you've been very busy in that. You also wear two hats here. You're also very much engaged in a new Canadian organization, are you not? I think some people have seen the website, but tell me about that, because that's another of your big interests right now.
Okay.
The name of the organization is what?
Okay, so thanks, Bob. So the organization I'm involved with is the Canadian Positive People Network. So Canadian de personnes séropositives. So I have been privileged to be part of a group that's been really trying to get an independent national network formed by people living with HIV and HIV co-infections in Canada off the ground. As I've been lucky to have received some scholarship to attend this conference, we felt that it's important that we actually make a presence at the conference to let other people know about us. And that is especially true for community members,
Right.
affected members.
Canada doesn't have an organization like this, right? It's unlike other big countries. We don't have anything, a national organization for people living with HIV.
Yes, you're very right. And as a higher resource country, Canada is rather unique in the sense that, unlike many countries which already have existing persons living with HIV positive networks, we don't have that. And I'm uncertain as to why we have not been able to achieve this goal and dream that's so dear to many of us. Yet, I think a lot of it has to do with lack of resources or infrastructural support. The network was first announced at this year's 2015 PLHIV conference at the Canadian AIDS Society, and it's really a reaffirmation of that wish that a lot of the community members have wanted to achieve.
Okay. So you have members from across Canada? You have good representation? Oh,
Yes.
It's just starting, I know, but...
Yeah, we just started a little over a month. So the last time I checked, and hopefully the numbers have increased, we have over 80 members from across the country. And we are hoping to further engage that, wider communities. We have also received some support from organizations. Namely, Positive Light has already written an article on us. Katie has graciously translated the article into French, etc.
So a conference like this allows you to talk up the organization and learn at the same time.
Yes.
And
so
how's Vancouver for you?
Vancouver
It's
is
a wonderful
yes.
location, eh?
Well, I didn't really get a chance to jump on the cruise ship yet.
It's a beautiful setting. We're here in the conference center.
It's been
very
lovely,
wonderful, isn't it?
And
Yeah.
all the people I talked to, they've been really enjoying this lovely space. So it's an honor that we get to host another international AIDS conference. And we've been, as Canadians, we have really great things that's come out from Canadian AIDS conferences. If you remember. Back then, when HEART first came out, it was at the Vancouver International AIDS Conference. Then at the Montreal International AIDS Conference, a group of activists took the stage and demanded the rights for persons living with HIV. At the Toronto International AIDS Conference, there was the Toronto Charter, where Indigenous community members really affirmed their stance and rights to become a recognized key affected population.
So there is opportunities to network, to learn, and to protest sometimes. So it's
Yes.
a lot of things can go on here, right?
Yes. So in terms of protests,
It's been kind of quiet this year, right?
well,
Little bit.
there was a strong contingent of lovely women from the international community of women who did a die-in yesterday. They really, brought forth the demands that women's issues are great importance, and as women, they should have the right over their bodies. They spoke against forced sterilization. They spoke against, the misuse of HIV treatment on women. And also, they wanted to have research agendas set by women and girls.
So it's an opportunity to get your agenda out and talked about at a place like this. Christian, thank you very much. Good luck with your endeavors, and thank you for talking to Positive Light.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Hello, good morning. My name's Claudette Cardinal, and I'm Cree from Alberta originally, but I've been living in Vancouver in BC for almost 20 years since I've been diagnosed. So
You live in Vancouver, you're
Yes.
lucky. Now we're at the international conference here. How many people are here? There's 6,000 or something like that?
I do believe so.
Have you had a chance to meet with people from many countries?
I have, and
Yeah.
where I've been meeting people is in the exhibitor section.
Right.
So I'm participant as a person living with HIV, but I'm sitting at
Okay.
a booth and manning the booth at the International Women's table with Jessica.
What's it like for a person living with HIV? I mean, there are scientists here, there are press, there are community members. How do you feel as a person living with HIV involved and invited here? What's it feel like?
For me, on a personal note, I find it a little a little under the collar, snooty tooty. Sorry to say, but that's my own preference. But I understand the important work that the people are here and why they attend, and it's to bring light, to encourage and showcase what people from across the globe are doing, and that's the importance of what I get as a person living with HIV. This is why it's so important for me to be a part of or be around people, is because this is where you learn the newest and up-to-date information.
Now, how difficult is it for you to understand? We're talking a lot about science. How intelligible is it for the average person? It's hard.
It's very hard.
But how do you cope?
Having difficulties. Well, for me, I just get the documents, I take it home and read it, and anything that I don't know, a term or a word or medication or anything like that, I go and ask my peers, and then my peers will inform me if I need any other documents or research. So,
but there is opportunity to learn here and to network.
There's a lot of